Huh? A Pikachu! Hey, look at this! Baby brought along a baby Pokemon!
Quit it! Why are you making fun of my Pikachu?
Pika, Pika!
Oh, I'll show you why. Go, Pokeball!
Surprise, motherfucker!
Pikachu!
If you want to quit, now's your chance. It's pretty gutsy for a toy. If you just want to become a Pokemon master, you should make your Pokemon evolve as soon as you catch it.
Raichu, a mouse Pokemon of the electric element. Raichu is the evolved form of Pikachu. It can shock with more than 100,000 volts, enough to render a Dragonite unconscious.
Now, give us the big finale, Raichu.
Pikachu!
Greetings, viewers, and welcome to another episode of the Collection Crib. I am your host, Tylercloud. Today, we're going to be looking at my entire collection, thus far, of my favorite Pokemon of all time, Raichu. Let's kind of go over this Raichu here really quick. This Raichu I got at Target. It's like a tiny little toy. One of the more recent toys that came out of Raichu from Pokemon. And just look at his face. He's so adorable. The yellow-orange color. Just his ears and kind of like that's like almost that spoon kind of look with that little swirl at the end there. He's got like brown hands, brown feet there, white belly, which like in the early promotional pictures, Pikachu had that white belly, but he doesn't anymore. And of course, his signature long tail with the lightning bolt at the end, the brown. I was about to say spikes, but no, just his brown design back there, really really cool. And like I said, Raichu is cute, but he's also tough. That's what I like about him. He's kind of like Two-Face. You see him in his like happy, even chubby form in like the early Pokemon games, kind of like Pikachu. Raichu was fat, adorable, lovable, and then they slimmed him down, just made him adorable, but also made him powerful. Now, sure, he isn't the most powerful electric type Pokemon of all time, but hey, back in the original 151 Pokemon, there were only a select few electric Pokemon, and Raichu, I think, was the most powerful, next to like Zapdos and maybe Magneton, but like I said, it was very far in between of how many electric Pokemon that can be used, like Jolteon and Electrode, but there are only so few, and to me, Raichu was the electric type to go for. Because let's be honest, Raichu, there was only so much you can do with him if you evolve him right away, but once you give Pikachu all the moves, and all the certain stuff, all the electric moves, and all his speed, and special attacks and whatnot, then you can evolve him into Raichu, and Raichu can learn a lot more powerful moves like Body Slam, the fighting moves, Mega Punch, Mega Kick, and so many others. I could be wrong, but I think he even learned Surf. Leave a comment down below if I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a Mandela effect. But anyway, we're going to check out everything that I own of Raichu, just kind of going off really quickly as I can, not trying to go into too many stories about everything, but this will be an awesome episode for those who love Raichu, especially myself, because I've been waiting to do this for a long time. So let's get to it. Let's kind of start from biggest to largest. So let's start with this little Raichu guy right here. This one's kind of the more interesting toys of Raichu. One of the early, I'm going to see if I get this right, the Tommy figures of Raichu, very early on in the original American releases of Pokemon. Of course, nothing too different, just, a little chubby, but his belly's kind of missing, even though he kind of has like a white highlight there. It's really hard to see, but it's somewhat there. His tail, of course, curls around, kind of like in his iconic card, which we'll get to. And yeah, just really, really cool there. It's got his, of course, they made in, oh goodness, it's going to be a little hard to see. Made in China. This is the Tommy release, Nintendo license there. It's got some other initials on the back there. Really, really cool. Adorable Tommy Raichu figure there. And what else can you say? I think he came in a Pokeball. I am not 100% sure. Should have done just a little bit of research. But he's still really, really cool. And, just a little adorable little Raichu. Next to him is the more recent Alolan Raichu. Now, this one was released in 2016. This one came in like a card pack of like a huge Raichu set, I believe. And Raichu, I mean, God, in 2016, when they announced that Raichu was getting an Alolan form, I was psyched. But I was also nervous because I love the original Raichu. So updating his image, I thought, oh boy, how are they going to mess this up? But I wasn't pissed at all. When I saw him, his ears, sure, looked a little different. They looked kind of, a little funky in my view. And him surfing, I guess, was kind of like an homage to like the surfing Pikachu from the Game Boy game. But his blue eyes, his like kind of like suntan kind of color. And of course, like I said earlier, him surfing on his tail and making him psychic was what sold it for me. He's electric psychic, and he's just as adorable as the original Raichu. Sure, he's a little different, but he is still phenomenal. The surfing psychic electric Raichu, really, really cool. Even when he was in that episode where, what was it, that cooking trainer that was that had Raichu serving pancakes. I want a Raichu that serves pancakes. Sign me up.
And here you go. 2 Alola pancake stacks coming up. They're about the same size as the stack you'll have for the race.
I can't wait!
If the stack falls or you drop your plate, you're immediately disqualified, but it's so much fun. Pikachu! I think Raichu's found a rival.
Okay, so next we have something of a more controversial toy here that I was going to show in a separate episode, but well, I'll tell you why in a minute. This is the Japanese model Raichu. This one my brother gave me a year ago for my birthday, and I was pretty psyched. Let me move this big Raichu here. Actually, let me turn him because he's going to fall if I don't. There we go. So here's the box of the Japanese model Raichu. Really, really cool, and if you have your translation things ready on your phone, go ahead and try to match up everything that is said on the box. But this was just an awesome box. Let's just get that out of the way. Raichu, of course, has an interesting ability here. You can shoot lightning bolts out of his tail. That is awesome. Shooting lightning bolts out of his tail, that is freaking cool. I mean, I couldn't wait to actually try this in action. And I was putting him together, and I was going to do that along with a Ho-Ho model that I found at a Hobby Lobby store. And of course, once again, this was released by Tommy. Really, really cool. Or Tomei. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it right. Tommy, Tomai, whatever. Tomai, I'm going to call it that. And for the most part, he was coming along really good. And really quickly, I have his instruction manual here. It was pretty simple. No glue, no paint whatsoever. And it tells you just how to put him in and all that. But 2 things went wrong. The first thing was the worst part. And I was trying to snap on the tail. Like, I did it the wrong way. I couldn't get it in the normal way. I was trying to put it from the top and squeeze it in like that, but it wouldn't go in. So I did it upside down, and hopefully I can turn it so it would fit. But then as I turned it, it snapped off. So I had no choice but to super glue it together. Yes, it's a little bit of a messy job, but I wanted to save this guy because he's so cute and his ears are so pointy. And he's so happy, but he's not really happy with me that I messed up his tail. So... And here were the little lightning bolts that were going to go into him. And, the trigger would have been here, and the trigger is here, but I don't have the spring. The spring was so tiny, I tried fitting it in, and it went boing! It just, flew in the midair, and I've been trying to find it ever since. But, oh my goodness. Hopefully someday I'll find it, or maybe find a replacement. But until then, Raichu is 90% complete with the spring missing and his tail unfortunately having to be super glued on due to me breaking it in the original construction. But minus those problems, he's still really cool. I would have loved to have tried the tail shooting ability. When it went up, it would have been like that. So, sorry, Raichu. Maybe next time, buddy.
Oh well. I guess you learned that playing with the big boys can be a shocking experience.
Next up, we have a returning Raichu that I have put together on the show before, the Mega Construx Raichu, or the big version that came with the Pikachu and Pichu-sized versions. And of course, he's a little fragile. His arms keep falling off, and his tail is very, very fragile. Just trying to, make sure they don't fall off. But he's really, really cute. His legs can go up and down. Arms, of course, like I said, they're fragile, but they can move. And his ears can kind of make that little, ear moving motion there. Manually, of course, by yourself, not automatically. But really, really cool. And I wonder if Lego will make a new Raichu, since now Lego owns the rights to Pokemon to make, Lego, or I guess Mega Block, whatever, their own little construction versions of him. This was, of course, Mega or Mega Constructs. I wonder what Lego will do with Raichu, or hopefully they'll make a Raichu. But either way, the Mega Constructs Raichu is really, really cool. Yes, don't say no. Yes, I'm cool. Yes, you're cool. But yeah, he's really fascinating. And of course, he has that little lightning coming out of his hand and off of his tail. Love the Mega Constructs Raichu. Really, really cool. And speaking of Mega Constructs Raichus, we've got the little Mega Construct Raichus. We've got the one that was all by himself. And we've got the other one that came with the Pichu and the Pikachu with that little building, or I guess it was a roof. But yeah, these little guys are really cute. They're pretty much the same design except for their faces. And of course, this Raichu, unfortunately, I had to find an extra piece in order to replace the one, I think it was like to replace the yellow connector that was missing from the set. And that's okay, though. Both of these Raichus are still really cute. And, hey, I got two handicapped Raichus now in my set. I got this one, and then I got the one with the glued-on tail, so it don't matter. All the Raichus are always welcome into my collection, and these guys are no exception. Mega Constructs, they definitely did a good job with Raichu, but like I said earlier, now that Lego has the rights to make constructed Raichus, we shall see what the future holds. Hopefully, what the future will hold for Raichu. Okay, so let's see what's next. We've got the Pop Vinyl Raichus. Whoops. Here we go. We've got the Pop figures, the Pop Vinyl Raichus. Of course, we got the original one. He was actually my very first Pop. Raichu, of course, I've had him for a pretty long time. Unfortunately, he's got like a little scratch right there. I'll try to get that out. But nonetheless, he's really cute. Little black beady eyes there. And here is the Alolan one. Really, really good figures. I still don't understand the appeal of Pops. I mean, I know they're cool. I know they're like the new Beanie Babies, but they don't do anything. They just sit there and look cute. But yeah, the floating Raichu, or the Alolan Raichu, of course. The swirly ears. Kind of looks like, look like guitar picks with swirls in them. I don't know. It's weird. But of course, surfing on his tail. Pretty much the same kind of design, just different colors, different abilities. And of course, this one's Psychic Electric. And this one, of course, is the iconic original. Both Pop Vinyls are really awesome. Love Raichu in the Pop Vinyl form. And what can you say? The little black beady eye Pop Vinyls are here to stay. Millions of Pop Vinyls. They're not going away anytime soon. My goodness gracious. Hopefully they make another like Pop Vinyl of Raichu. I mean, here's like, the typical version of him. Maybe we'll have him like with his arms out, or maybe his tail in a different way. Maybe him making like an angry face. I don't know, something like that. But next up, we've got, Pop Vinyl Raichu. Next, we've got the lovely Japanese Raichu. Leave your translation comments down below of what that says. This was another gift given to me by my brother, and this one is just a typical statue. Let me pull him out. There we go. Interesting looking face. It looks like his face is kind of smushed, but mainly because of his eyes. But then again, that's just because of his eyes. His eyes are a little bit more in his skull rather than just kind of a circle with eyes on them. But kind of a more accurate face depiction of Raichu if he was real, I suppose. But interesting looking. Typical Raichu design. His tail is a little bit flexible, but I wouldn't bend it in all sorts of ways. But his hands are, of course, on his body. His legs don't move. It's just a statue. His ears don't move, nothing. It's just his tail that you can kind of, bend around and mess with. But, not much to say about him, but just another interesting Japanese figure that's not available in America as far as I know. Lovely Pokemon, as it says on the box, as Raichu is in general. A lovely electric type Pokemon, and it's just interesting. Really interesting Raichu. figure, which is really more like a statue. Leave a comment down below so far who your favorite Raichu toy in this collection is. So let's see, what haven't I done so far besides the big ones? I guess we'll go on to this guy, the Pokemon marble holder of Raichu. I don't have my marbles with me at this moment. I want to try to save that for a future episode. But it's just awesome. They made Raichu on the marble cover. You would put the marble thing in your pocket, and you ever go and trade. Kind of like the slogan back then. Got to catch them all. You definitely got to trade them all. If you're able to trade Pokemon with your friends, you're able to have the little lock in there. The marbles wouldn't fall out, and you can just put it in your pocket. And of course, the thing back here would spin, but the interesting note of how it spins and make it look cool will be saved for another episode. But here is where you would see the marbles in a more higher version. Maybe you can kind of see through there with other Pokemon there. And they would just spin, but just interesting design. Raichu covered in lightning bolts, longer tail than usual. Really, really cute design. I love the marble carrier of Raichu. Okay, so now let us move on to the plushes. Let's start out with this Japanese plush right here. This Raichu plush that was given to me by my sister-in-law. Interesting tag. I really kept the tag because I like the little ribbon there on the end of it. And of course, leave your Japanese translation comments below. I'm sure these are just like the company names and the serial numbers. I don't know exactly where it's from, but the Raichu just looks like, he's just kind of laying down on his belly, happy face, just kind of a flat little Raichu. Got his little toe things there. Really, really cute. Really fascinating. Just love the any kind of plush of Raichu is always is always welcome in my collection crib. Just really, really cute. And oh goodness, he's a cute little guy. Not too much space to hold up. He's just, like I said, he's nice and flat. He's not sleeping. He's just kind of on his belly, just all happy. Really cute, really cuddly, and just a fascinating little Raichu from Japan. Okay, so let's see what else we got next. We've got this Raichu that I think was from Japan as well. Different little Raichu, but he's definitely cute. He was one of the earlier plush Raichus I've got. I guess spawning from the last 10 years or so. This one's interesting because his hands were on his belly, and I kind of wanted to move his arms, so I made the stupid decision of detaching his hands from his belly, and now it looks like he has nipples. But, well, what can you do? So, this Raichu, curly smile, very plushy, not flexible, but, just a normal plush, long tail with the electric bolt on the end. No more, no less. Just a cute little Raichu that I wanted his hands off of his nipples, but now I actually made him nipples. Really, really cute. So let's see. Let's go for this Raichu. This one I actually found at a, I think it was like a Comic-Con event. It's not squared, but it's more rounded, but it's kind of going like a, like an oval, but like a rectangular smile here instead of like a swirly one, which you've seen in the previous Raichus. But he's really cool. His tail is connected to his back. I don't really want to rip that out. I'm just kind of leave him how he is. But he's still cool. Typical Raichu. Like I said, different smile. Little belly button there, kind of. A little hard to see, but you'll see in the other one I'm going to show. But really cool Raichu. No more, no less. Not as soft, but he's still really cool in the Raichu collection. And now, let's see. Before I introduce the big guy, let's get rid of some of these cards here. I'm just going to kind of ram off the cards really quickly just to show you each card individually and just give a little description of them really quick. So here is the, I forget the name. This is the Topps Pokemon cards. They came out almost like the same time as like the traditional Pokemon cards did. This one, of course, the iconic pose of Raichu, I think. Just his, waving his hands in the air, standing on his tippy toes and his tail kind of coming under him. Really iconic look of Raichu, and just like the typical Raichu card to have like all the electric bolts around him. Number 26, and on the back, Raichu kind of giving a dumbfounded look, really kind of funny looking, but and strangely, they on these cards they say, of course, his this kind of interesting information there. Just like he evolved from Pikachu. Just gives the description of him in his debut episode. And, of course, when he was Lieutenant Surge's Pokemon. And it gives a what's that Pokemon thing on the card there, kind of like they do in the show. And, of course, you know who that is. You Pokemon fanatics. That's Bellsprout. Really cool card. Found it recently. I want to find a shiny one of him, but this one will do. There we go. Kind of make it look like it's shiny there. But really cool card. Love Raichu in the Topps card. And speaking of Topps, here is a clip from the show. Raichu about to give the body slam on Pikachu. Of course, Pikachu moves out of the way. And this was actually many people's first introduction to Raichu because he was in the intro. And it was actually this clip. Raichu was just about to slam Pikachu, but of course, like I said, he moves out of the way. Electric Shock Showdown. There's like Ash being congratulated by Surge after he is defeated. Raichu kind of giving the stare like, you mother, you beat me, but, why did Surge have to evolve me so quickly? I don't know all my moves. But this Raichu, of course, definitely iconic for the right reasons. And definitely one of the more popular episodes of Pokemon. Just Pikachu really showing that what he can do, going up against his evolved form, but with the more abilities and the more training that he had, Pikachu was able to outmatch Raichu in every possible way, even though it was still kind of bullcrap in the show. But still, the show isn't supposed to be like the games, so take it with a grain of salt. But Raichu is definitely what inspired me to continue my interest in Pokemon. Because after Raichu, I'm like, all right, I'm hooked. I love these guys. Gotta catch them all, right? So let's see. Next up, we got this Raichu from, let me read the year, 2012. This is I'm sorry, I'm going to get the holographic shiny things mixed up, so leave a comment down below which one I get right or wrong. But this hologram Raichu, sparkly background in the frame, him holding balloons kind of going down the boardwalk of Ocean City. Just kidding, but it looks really, really, really happy. One of the more happier cards of Raichu. He's got Thunder Shock and Slam in his abilities there, 90% HP. And of course, his weakness is fighting. And of course, you got the little Pikachu up there in the corner, stage 1, which really should be a stage 2, if Pichu is the first one. But look at that, just really happy Raichu. Really, really fascinating, really cute, walking down the boardwalk with balloons. Couldn't be happier. Next up, we've got the 2015 Raichu here. This one's really, really fascinating with the kind of like the black sky in the background with him, electric shocks in the night. Really, really intimidating almost. It's like he's going up against Dragonite right there, and he's ready to take him down. It's really, really, really cute. Thunderclap Shot and Electro Smash. No actual moves in the Pokemon video games, but still. And of course, on the back, I didn't have any other of these glass, well, not glass, but, these different kind of card covers. So I put this other Raichu in the back. This was the 2016 shiny Raichu here. And kind of looks like he's looking up in the sky. Maybe he sees Ho-Ho. I don't know. He's got Circle Circuit and Thunderbolt. Again, his HP is 90% as well. Really cool Raichus. I like this one better. But this one, it's like there's daytime and then there's nighttime. Really, really awesome Raichu cards. This one I think was in the whole Raichu pack that I got years back. I think it's in one of my earlier card episodes. Leave a comment down below which Raichu card you like the best after I show them all. And this one is actually kind of cute. This one's Raichu just sleeping, sleeping on the grass here. On 130 HP. Collateral Bolts and Electric Ball, really, really cute. Just sleeping under the sun. Maybe that's how he becomes the Alolan Raichu. He just sleeps under the sun too long. That's how he got that tan. Let's see. Up next, we've got the GX Raichu. I actually have the bigger one here. There's the big one. I tried to fit it on the board, on the table here, but it was a little too much space. But yeah, the GX Raichu, 210 HP, powerful Spark and Thunder. Really beautiful cards. I actually hang this one on my fridge because I love it so much. It's just so shiny and beautiful. And on the back of this Raichu is the Dark Raichu. He looks intimidating, almost like the one in the episode. And there's like the chubby Pikachu there, which I really like. Surprise Thunder, and this one's actually 70 HP. I think this one will be the weakest in all of my cards in terms of HP. But beautiful shiny Pokemon card here. The GX of course is my favorite of the ones, this one's sharing, but it's still really cool. This one's older, of course. This was one of the original cards from the 98, 99 era of Pokemon, the Pokemon Mania as I call it. Yeah, really, really cool. And one last look at the giant one. Oh, beautiful, beautiful Raichu. I love you. All right, so let's move on. We've got this Raichu, which was actually more recent, 2023. Raichu looks like he's in the woods somewhere, about to electric shock somebody. Got 140 HP, Electro Charge and Thunderbolt. Really fascinating card. Nothing on the back, just Raichu showing off his badassery. Let's see. Next, we've got this Raichu here. We've got another 2023 card. Let me just look really quick. Yep, 2023. Another kind of like a nighttime Raichu shiny card. Almost looks like the Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen.
Yes.
May I see it?
No.
Thunder and electrical grounding, 120 HP. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And of course, he's kind of like almost on all fours there, unless he's doing the Michael Jackson thing there. Really interesting, but interesting card. Love Raichu. Had to put it in my collection crib. Okay, so now we've got this one. This is the Burger King Raichu, which came out in 1999. And of course, he's got almost like that dopey expression or the kind of expression on his face. Really, I love it. This one actually gives his weight. Like this one, of course, all Raichus are different, but this one, he's like 66 pounds. He's like 2 feet 7 inches tall. And on the back, shows Pikachu and Togepi after Dragonite delivers the Mewtwo message to come to his castle. And yeah, the Burger King cards, I want to do an episode on that someday. Hopefully I can find all of the Burger King cards. And Raichu was definitely no exception. I love the blue background, the electric, the lightning in the background too. Anything with Raichu, he's usually going to have the electrical background there. How much power is in Raichu's Thunder Wave technique? Kind of says there. And it is 10,000 volts. And last but not least, we've got the original Raichu cards. The 1998 Raichu Shinies. I guess is the best way to describe them. Of course, the right one was the very first card I remember of Raichu. And then here's the one with the more interesting background, which we can see the lightning and the glitter in the background. And he's more chubby. I actually like this one a lot. Giga Shock on the chubby one, 90% HP, 80% on the other. And on this back is the 2016 remake of the original card. It looks a lot more shinier than the original. But it's really, really cool. And these two will forever be in my collection. These were the first Raichu cards released in America. And just so much Raichu, so much to go over. And we are almost done. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's, one last thing before I get to the big plush. This is the Nintendo Power Pokemon Stadium Edition, Volume 130. And this is one of my favorite Nintendo Powers, but what makes it even better is the fact that it has a Pokemon comic of the anime, and it is Electric Shock Showdown. This one has the Raichu episode. And back in the day, they had 6 Pokemon Power magazines that came with Nintendo Power, like the original 6. I'll put them right here on the screen. Those were the original 6. And then after they were made, Nintendo Power just decided to put more of the anime in the Nintendo Powers instead of separately. So this one, of course, has the Raichu episode. And there he is. Raichu, of course, making his debut in that iconic pose. Rai! Really awesome. And Raichu, of course, just proves intimidating, render a Dragonite unconscious. Oh, yeah. And I just love that little shot right there. Him getting a little pat on the head by Surge. Yeah, Surge cares about his Pokemon, but it just shows that he's stupid, that he didn't give him all the moves before, really showing what he could do. Yeah, really, really great shots here of the episode. Pikachu getting his ass kicked. Raichu, even though, sure, you would hurt him, but I guess it depends on what level Pikachu was. It just shows, the inconsistencies in the show from the game, but of course Pikachu making that decision, which he still has to do. Please evolve someday, Pikachu, because you will be the strongest Raichu in the world. My goodness, just great stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to go into the Nintendo Power too much, but like I said, this one, the Pokemon Stadium Edition, has the Electric Shock Showdown episode. Of course, when Raichu gets beat and Ash wins the Thunder Badge. Really good, really great episode, of course. Really great Pokemon Power edition here. If you have any other Pokemon episodes from the Pokemon, the Nintendo Powers, leave a comment down below, because I do have a lot of them. Someday I do want to go into other Nintendo Powers, and I'll show you guys other episodes from the magazine. Okay, so now let us get into the main event here. Hopefully I can put him in frame without damaging anything on the table. The giant winking Raichu. Oh boy, this is going to be tough. Let me try to move some of these on the side a little bit. This Raichu I found at a comic book, a free comic book day store that was not too far from my house. Adorable. They wanted $35, but I asked it for $26. Wink, wink. On his actual number in the Pokemon Pokedex, and they say, yeah, sure, we'll let you pay that. Raichu winking here. His tail is connected to the top, the side of his cheeks there. I'm not gonna separate that just because he's kind of like slouching, not really sitting. And this is gonna be a really hard one to show all on screen without moving. Well, okay, I'm gonna have to move everything here. Like I said, this Raichu is the biggest one in my collection. He is adorable. He is soft. Definitely would take him to bed with me if I ever felt down. This one was also from Japan. And get those translation apps out, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, really from Bandai Spirits. Really, really fascinating. Shop Pro. More Japanese text. But yeah, the one thing I wish they would make of Raichu is a sleeping one. They have Pichu and they have Pikachu at Targets and Walmart. Why not Raichu? Justice for sleeping Raichu. I mean, the winking one is as best as I'm going to get, but he is still adorable. Almost looks like he has a belly button there. Just so adorable. I love this Raichu. He is so cute. A good bed partner. Really fascinating little Raichu. Well, I guess he's my biggest Raichu. He's a little, he's not exactly 2 feet tall, but I mean, he's almost as close as to how tall he would be in real life. But yeah, he's just so cute. I love this Raichu. Winking at me, just all you can ask for a Raichu. Adorable, sweet, but also when he's in battle, he is, without a doubt, a badass. Ooh, I almost forgot. A little Raichu coin. This one came with the Pokemon cards. And of course, I almost showed the Pokemon Breakthrough Pack Raichu that was out for a while. But yeah, a little Raichu coin there. I almost forgot to, I guess, so much Raichu, so little time, But little cute little Raichu coin, shiny. This one, he actually looks like, he's leading a charge or something. But yeah, I always love, maybe I'll put this right here. Nope. I always loved Raichu whenever he appeared. I mean, he was in the first movie. He was in the first movie, that Pikachu's Vacation. He made a cameo in the second movie, just kind of standing there, acting like all brave, like he was going to do something about the three birds. But, yeah, Raichu, I've always loved him. Always loved seeing him in the show. Any kind of mood or appearance that they give him, whether he's like friends or enemies with Pikachu, whether he's shy to go on stage.
Hey, it's time to go on and dance with the others. Oh, what's the matter? Is something wrong? Oh.
Whether from the Game Boy games or Pokemon Go, he's my buddy as we speak. And my goodness, just for years, I've just always cherished Raichu, and there's just been so much I could, so much more I can go into Raichu, but maybe there'll be a part 2, and I can just display a lot more of this iconic, underloved, underrated, personally should be the icon of Pokemon, but let's face it, Pikachu. Yes, we all know you're the icon. Yes, you have a balloon in the Macy's parade, but come on. Justice for Raichu, ladies and gentlemen. He needs a sleeping buddy at, Target or Walmart. He needs, more. He needs a mega evolution. He needs a lot more love. Ash, evolve your Pikachu and become the strongest Raichu in the world. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't give enough more love to Raichu. He is my favorite Pokemon. He is the best. From his color to his ears to his tail to his debut to how he acts and how cute and menacing he can be, Raichu to me is the total package.
What? Turtle, turtle, turtle.
What did we catch? Raichu is bad news for you three crooks. Raichu, Thunderbolt attack! Way to go! Now Mega Kick!
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a part of this episode of The Collection Crib. I thank you all for watching. Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I, Tylercloud, will see you Collection Cribbers next time. Say goodbye, Pikachu.
It's over, baby.
Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within your kitchen.
Yes.
May I see it?
No.